1 month and thousands of lives later, the war between Israel and Hamas is still raging overseas. We have already seen so much bloodshed and strife since October 7th, when Hamas militants stormed Israeli cities. They killed 1,400 people and took more than 200 hostage, many of whom are still being held captive. In the weeks since, Israel bombed the Hamas-controlled Gaza Strip hundreds of times, killing more than 10,000 civilians.
We come now to shout and invite you to protect us.
Calls for a ceasefire are mounting, but so far Israeli leaders haven't budged. They have, though, agreed to daily 4-hour pauses in the fighting to let people leave parts of Gaza and let aid get in. Aid coming in from all around the world, including the KC Metro. You know, there's no shortage of volunteers here at home doing what they can to help. And Lenexa-based Heart to Heart International is leading the charge. I stopped by their headquarters to see the effort firsthand. We're here in Heart to Heart International's warehouse in Lenexa with CEO Kim Carroll. Thank you so much for having us. We know these are pallets that are stacked, ready to go to the Middle East. Yes. How is that effort going right now?
There was need before this war broke out, and that need is even intensified. In fact, we have a 40-foot container of medicines and medical supplies and hygiene kits that left this warehouse 4 days before Hamas attacked Israel. And it was destined for Gaza. We've been shipping aid into Gaza for years, and we're pre-positioning some of this aid in Egypt so that once the humanitarian corridor opens up further, aid can go into Gaza. But we're also sending aid into Israel and into Lebanon. So we have a number of partners on the ground in each of the countries. Many of them operate in multiple countries. So we know and trust them to get this aid to the people that need it most.
We've seen the video of the border, even in Rafah in Egypt, into Gaza, where getting trucks into Gaza, getting humanitarian aid into Gaza is no easy task. How do you overcome that?
Well, again, this will be with partners on the ground, so we'll pre-position some of these shipments into Egypt, and then once it opens up, they'll be able to take it in through that corridor. But you know, there are other areas that need it right now. There's a community, it's a town called Ashkelon. It's about 600,000 people. It took a direct hit 48 hours after the conflict started. There are over 40,000 that are displaced, have nowhere to stay. They need medicine, they need medical supplies. The hospital took a direct hit, and it's about 14 miles or so from the Gaza border. So we'll be working with partners right up to the very edge of Gaza, as well as other communities. There are many people in Israel that have been displaced. They're in congregate shelters. The same in Lebanon. Many of the residents of southern Lebanon fled early on and migrated north, again, also staying in shelters. So they need hygiene kits, they need medicines and medical supplies, all of which, thanks to our very generous donors, we're able to provide out of our world headquarters here.
What are in these kits that are shipped overseas?
So the hygiene kits contain shampoo, soap, washcloth, toothpaste, toothbrush, just the basics to help you stay clean and healthy. You know, when you're fleeing a home that's being bombed, or there's a war surrounding you, you're not looking for your toothbrush. And so this is a way for people who are living in close quarters to have some dignity and to maintain their health. Then, of course, we're sending medical supplies and medicines. These medicines are donated to Heart to Heart by the manufacturers. They're the same medicines that the people watching this show take every day. And so for people affected by this conflict, they'll be able to continue their blood pressure treatment, their diabetes treatment, etc.
We know the volunteer effort is so critical to your work here at Heart to Heart International. We know you had a big hygiene kit drive earlier a couple weeks ago. There are some even coming this month. So how can I help? If I want to take my time and help this effort, what can I do?
The best way to help is go to the Heart to Heart International website, hearttoheart.org, And click on the link on how to volunteer. We are constantly adding new events or opening up those events with more slots available to accommodate more people. The people in Kansas City are incredibly generous. They want to help. Sometimes they just don't know how, but they can come out to our headquarters in Lenexa. It's family friendly and assemble kits that will then go on to help those in the Middle East. For those that can't, maybe their schedules just don't allow, the other way they can help is to donate. And again, going to hearttoheart.org, the cash contributions that people make will enable us to continue to ship these essential medicines and hygiene supplies to the area.
For as long as they're needed, right?
Absolutely.
All right, CEO Kim Carroll, thank you so much for the work you and your staff do and just facilitating all this.
Thank you for helping us show people how they can help.
Again, if you'd like to volunteer your time to pack hygiene kits, there are a number of opportunities opening up at Heart to Heart's headquarters in Lenexa. For more info or to donate, go to hearttoheart.org.